How's it going, everybody? RazingHel here, and today we're going to be discussing something a little bit different. It is related to YouTube, but not necessarily to gaming. So in the past week or so, as you've probably noticed if you spend any amount of time on YouTube, there was a recent ad boycott of YouTube, and this has caused some people to become quite hysterical. And I thought, as somebody who doesn't really care about the ad space on YouTube, I thought that the opinion of a disinterested third party could provide some valuable perspective. So what exactly went wrong? Well, if you're not in on everything, there were several articles from very prominent newspapers that pointed out that ads from companies and the like were being shown next to what would be termed extremist content on YouTube. This could be in the form of video ads or those little adverts that pop up on the sidebar. You might be wondering, why is this a problem exactly? There are a couple of reasons for this. If we take a look at an article here that is on Adweek, they did a poll. They surveyed 502 people to find out what exactly their opinions were when it came to adverts in front of videos shown on YouTube. The conclusion was that around 36% are actually influenced by those ads. In other words, how did they put it here? It says, in summary, the questionnaire shows that enough people, 36%, view ads as endorsements by brands to cause concern among marketers. At the same time, 55.1% of survey participants said their opinion didn't change about such brands. So as you can see here, even if there were no other negative effects, all of those brands that are unintentionally having their adverts put in front of extremist content, they're negatively influencing their potential targeted demographics, because those people might actually associate the brand with that sort of content. Another reason that they might actually have to do something about this is what showing an ad next to a video does, is it essentially gives money to whoever that video belongs to. So in other words, if ISIS uploads a video and they have like Google AdSense enabled for it, and Google serves up an ad next to that video, ISIS essentially gets paid. So in other words, you basically have businesses like Pepsi and Coke, or maybe the UK government, the US government, all funding indirectly terrorist groups. And that's just the most extreme. Obviously, there are much less serious problems to deal with here, and it seems like it's all coming to a head right now. And as I pointed out, those are two very big issues that are not going to be overlooked. So it comes down to what is going to be done about it. And a lot of people that I've seen, they're blaming the wrong thing. Sometimes they're going to be blaming YouTube. They think that this was a decision on their part. It really wasn't. Some of them are blaming the newspapers for reporting on it. That's like shooting the messenger. I mean, the problem existed. Just because it wasn't in the public spotlight didn't mean that nobody was ever going to notice it. It was simply a matter of time. And that is exactly what went down. And this is what's become of it, is there's this massive ad boycott across all of YouTube, which means that the current ad stock is so small in terms of YouTube's inventory that very few, or a lot fewer, ads are actually getting placed on videos. And the ones that do get placed are going for a much cheaper rate, which means that even if an ad is displayed, it is worth a fraction of what it used to be worth before this boycott happened. That is basically how ad space is sold. It's by demand. If there is high demand for the ad space, then the price goes up. The real culprit here is simply the popularity of the platform. As the platform got more popular, that means that more people are looking at it, more businesses are looking to advertise on it, and those businesses want a certain assurance, and businesses, and like I pointed out, the government too, they want a certain quality of service. They want to be certain that if they put their brand name out there on the platform, that it isn't going to be damaged. A brand name is actually very, very important. It could be more important than your business itself, like its own fiscal holdings, because brand recognition is most certainly a thing, and it conveys consumer trust much better than, say, your last quarter's revenue earnings or anything like that. So if any of these brands think there is the possibility of of their brand getting ruined by advertising on a platform that allows such content on it. That could have very serious implications going forward for exactly what content's going to be allowed on the platform, or at least is going to be allowed to be monetized, because the brands simply don't want to have their name anywhere near that. And it's fair enough. I mean, you really can't say to a business where they should and shouldn't advertise and what they should and shouldn't feel comfortable advertising on. So even if, like, some of the more controversial and yet not radical or anything like that content, let's say for example that you use strong language in your videos. This is not something I really do, but let's say you're somebody who does that, and too many, not all businesses, but the majority of them, they don't consider that friendly content for them to advertise on. That means that while such content will still exist on YouTube, the people who put it up will make significantly less. And this will naturally pressure the entire platform towards something that is much more tame. So you could think of this as sort of being a natural evolution of the platform. Think of it, it's often been compared to the Wild West. Even the Wild West got tamed, and if you actually thought that the same wasn't coming for online platforms that are the digital or virtual equivalent of the Wild Wild West, if you thought that wasn't ever going to happen, I think that is seriously naive, and this event itself should be sort of a wake-up call to you that this is happening now, and there's really no going back from there. So overall, what does it sort of mean for people like me and people who watch YouTube? Well, from what I can tell, you're going to have to put up with a lot more e-begging from people who actually make a living, quote unquote, from the website. But in terms of like the actual viewer, the viewer quality, if you're currently not using ad block, you'll probably see fewer ads. So there's a positive for you. If you are using ad block, probably nothing really will look different, aside from, like I said, more people shilling out their various GoFundMe stuff. It will eventually blow over, I'm certain of it. We'll have no real idea, though, what the lasting consequences of this boycott will be, because, the scorched earth approach that YouTube has had to take to deal with a lot of these complaints appears to actually be de-incentivizing a good number of creators from making the type of videos that they currently were. And YouTube might become much less viable of an option for those content creators. But overall, I think the common theme of death of YouTube is considerably overblown, and I really don't think you can blame any one individual as your scapegoat. You're going to have to look a little bit deeper and realize that it's actually fallen victim to its own popularity, and that as more people moved into this space, that there would be more critical analysis applied to it as well. So I hope that was something at least thought-provoking, after probably hearing a lot of concerned creators complain about this over the past, like I said, week or so. But this one's mine. It's based off of a lot of reading that I've done and a lot of general commentary around the issue that I've seen. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.